generated. So that is they find out that that kind of a media literacy is required, so that they can analyze, they can interpret, they can evaluate, and just come to conclusion that this kind of information, so much information, so that can way it will provide how you can interpret, how you can evaluate, how you analyze. So who is background of this, media? So how it will be generated? So what is the angle? So which angle it will portray? Which is basis for this message? So who is backed this message? So this kind of information then started to identify the importance of media literacy. So although media literacy education has become accepted and successful in English speaking countries like Australia, Canada, Britain, it has also become standard part of curriculum in United States, where a lack of centralization has led to quarters short approach to teaching practical literacy. So how to be that developed by, adopted in Australia as well as Canada and Britain. So the kind of a literacy, the kind of first the way the kind of a media outlets started. So impact of media literacy. So India, sorry, impact of media literacy. So how media literacy is impacted? How it will be just be useful for the students as well as those persons who are, just need to interpret, need to just analyze the message. So whatever the message, whatever the information that will just you expose to what kind of a message, maybe it may be on a digital platform, or maybe on a electronic media, or maybe any kind of information that is intended. So that is kind of a, so where we will just come across the disinformation, misinformation kind of information, where disinformation, misinformation. So one kind of a message that where it will deliberately, so you will just pass on one kind of ideology, one kind of a intention. So you have deliberate intention that you know that it is wrong, but still deliberately you will just pass on the message in order to garner the support of a particular cause, or maybe garner the support of the one particular ideology. So the misinformation kind of thing. So you just what will happen, whatever information will just receive. So without knowingly, so just you identify the particular person, that your friend or maybe your the neighbor. So you will identify, you will just he will just feel, he will believe that particular person, that he whatever he shares, it will be authentic, it will have authenticity and have credibility. So that way what we'll do, it will just without knowingly, without verifying, without fact checking, what we'll do, you will just pass on the message to the other persons. That way it will happen, like without knowingly you will just passing on the message. It may have some kind of information, false information. So it happened during COVID time. So many people exposed to some kind of a false messages, kind of a message that way. So without knowingly, they will just pass on the message. So without fact checking. So this kind of information just happened during the COVID period. So this way, so those who are deliberately just circulating with the intention, with the motive, that is way they just garner the support of the arterial gas, or maybe just enhance their ideology kind of thing. So that's the way how it will happen. So what is, in this one, so there are cognitive aspects are there, so emotional aspects are there, aesthetic and moral values are there. So the information is being conveyed. So cognitive means what kind of information is conveyed. So this disseminates how you will receive the message. The emotional kind of, so what kind of feelings that are being expressed. So that kind of a feeling expressed means, so that way, so what kind of emotions, suppose we'll just expose to one kind of a ad, one kind of a billboard, one kind of a poster. So what kind of a feeling, what kind of a emotional kind of a element are there? So that can be is, it will just making you just believe, making you some kind of attachment. Suppose what we will think, those who will just consume complaint, they will just grow instantly. The kind of a growth will just more. So that kind of a feeling, that kind of emotional attachment will be there. One more thing. So one more thing. So those who are the thin, uh, they will be considered. There will be those who are fair. One more thing. Those who are fair, they will be get more attraction. Though they will be kind of a element that try to just give you the kind of a intention, kind of a motive, that they are those who are fair, they will be get more attracted, they will be well respected. So that kind of emotional attachment in the ad itself, it will just make you, so those who are fair, so use this fair and cream kind of way, so that can you can just become more kind of a fair, and you will be respected everywhere. So that kind of emotional feeling attached to the message. So that kind of whatever the message, whatever the ad, what kind of a element that is just focusing, they will use the emotional feelings, emotion, they ignite the emotional kind of thing. So that way, so even certain kind of a emotional way, so that will influence you, that will have certain kind of a effect, and immediately it will make you to take a decision to purchase a particular product. So that kind of emotional element will be there in the particular message. So aesthetic, so what is the aesthetic? The overall precision, artistry of the message. So how the precision, how precisionly, what kind of a words, how it will be presented. Sorry. So what kind of, how their words are coined, how the words are just have certain kind of a, can have certain kind of a impact. So how they artistically presented the message. So that is the aesthetic way of the information. So next, moral. So values are being conveyed through message. So moral values, certain kind of a messages that will have certain kind of a moral values as well as. So that is way they able to just give you the, so the more underlining kind of way. So where what are the moral values in this one? So is there moral values are there? So how they are projected, the what kind of information they are just passing on, what kind of information they disseminated. So there is any kind of a moral ways of it, that way. How that way the particular message is conveyed. Sorry. Sorry. So, so are they? So why are they equating with the happiness? Are they sending the message? It is a moral feeling where someone is overweight. Are they saying that one has to thin to be loud and respected? So this is the way how the messages we need to just interpret. So what kind of a message? How they were just conveying. So what kind of aspect is there? So that way we just conclude, come to the conclusion, come arrive at conclusion that this is the way how we need to just interpret, we need to just evaluate, we need to analyze the particular kind of it. So three stages of media literacy. So what has been founder president of the Center for Media Literacy, Los Angeles, says that media literacy overall term that incorporate three stages of continuum reading to media empowerment. First stage is simply becoming aware of the importance of managing one's media diet. So media diet means kind of is a one has a habitual to just when wake up and just go through the newspaper and just it's become habitual. Maybe it become kind of a one kind of a habit, media habit, and immediately you just when you just venture you will just go to the just will in a journey you will just listen to the radio. So to know about the what are the latest updates, maybe it may be weather updates, it may be traffic updates, that way you will just expose to that will just have exposed to certain kind of a information. So that way the once media that is making choices, reducing the time spent with television, videos, and electronic games, film, and various media platforms. So somebody it will just go through, just suppose was just using the metro or maybe some using the public transportation, they will just go to the YouTube and just watch the videos. So maybe some way it will just play the games that will somebody will just able to just browse through the print media forms, newspapers, so e-papers. So that is the way. So that kind of a habitual daily what will expose to the kind of a media that means. So what kind of a media we're using? Maybe you are using the newspaper and as well as the YouTube, or maybe you exposed to a radio. And just in the meantime, you will just go to the e-paper as well as. So that is the way. So that is will consider as the media diet kind of. So that regularly you will have this kind of a exposure, the kind of a media diet we have. Second stage is the learning specific skills of critical viewing, learning to analyze and question what is in the frame. So how it is constructed. So what may have been left out. The skills of critical viewing are the best learned through inquiry based on classes, interactive group activities, as well as from creating or creating and producing one's own media messages. So that is the way. Second way, critically viewing. So critically viewing means so learning to analyze and question. So what is in the frame? So in the particular framework, so the message conveyed, the article, the kind of information, the kind of a content. That's what kind of it is have the kind of frame, how they have constructed the particular frame. So what kind of a message they are passing. So that is the important second stage. We need to critically view the particular message through analyzing and questioning. So what kind of a message is, so based on the interactive, so it may have, we may have the friends, a kind of a circle, particular circle where we can just interact with the friends or maybe my colleague. So that can we can arrive, we can just know. So what kind of a message frame is there, how they are constructed. Next, third goes behind the frame to explore deeper issues. So, who produces the media? Who experience for what purpose? So, who profits? Who loses? Who decides? The stage of social, political, economic analysis. Look at how everyone in society makes meaning from our media experiences. How the mass media drives our global consumer economy. This inquiry can sometimes set the stage for various media advocacy effect to challenge or redress public policy and corporate practices. So that is the way with third stage. First stage, the habitual, the kind of a habit we have. Second stage, the viewing critically and construction of the particular framework we just see. Next, third stage, what we'll do, who is, what is the purpose of generating a particular message? Who getting benefits from this message? So who loses and who decides this message? So is there any kind of a political background is there? So any kind of a economic, global economic concern is there. So these are the third stage. So you will just go through the way how to just get into the deeper issues. So frame. So who what goes behind the frame to explore deeper issues. So you will just explore. You will explore kind of a way. So who is getting out of the what kind of a benefit particular person who has generated this content, what kind of a profit, what kind of a purpose, what kind of a losses, what can who decides what kind of a information here. So that is a kind of a inquiry. Thoughts it will just make you more aware of the kind of a that will be able to give you certain kind of a information, certain kind of a ground, so that can you can just arrive, you can just have certain kind of a just you come to conclusion that this is kind of a information where you will just have certain kind of a conclusion that this is the person who is behind the sick. So this is a person who has been doing this is a person after generating this certain kind of a messages, he's getting certain kind of a profits. So maybe it may be suppose certain kind of a content where I mean public relations or maybe kind of a PR person, what will he deliberately, what will this, he will just focus his company's image, just leaving the negative aspects of his company. So maybe that is the kind of way, so that we need to understand. So who is the behind, so how it will be developed. So whether it will be have certain kind of a potential information in it, or just deliberately generated to just garner support or generate the image, good image for the particular company. So that is the way we will need to assess, we need to just analyze the information. So that way three stages will just give you, just make you aware how to just interpret, how to just process the information. So next, what is the scope and nature and scope of the importance of the measure. So media literacy conceptualizes includes the ability to access, analyze media messages as well as to create, reflect, and take action using the power of information communication to make a difference in the world. The media literacy entails the acquisition of a new culture in which technology and humans being are harmony with the complement sorry, complement to each other. So it is a certain kind of information, certain kind of a communication that will just, so whatever the Western culture, so what will be after exposing kind of information that will have certain kind of influence on us, will just immediately addict to certain kind of a culture, certain kind of a information, certain kind of a dialogues will also start to just give you just exposed to certain kind of a messages, will just addict to and just will just imbibe that kind of a culture, and just will try to just focus kind of, will just try to just adapt certain kind of a culture as well. So that's the way the kind of a Western culture as well as communications have certain kind of a influence on society or individual on a country like country as well as. So when we individual influence, so automatically society get influence, and society get influence, the whole country is been considered to be just very the kind of information, the kind of a Western culture that will be able to just influence our way. So what's scope? So it will promotes the critical thinking of a skills, it will give the critical thinking skills. So that kind of a skills, the media literacy will give the critical thinking of thinking skills that unable to make independent choices with regard to selection of a media programming, interpretation of the information received through various channels of mass communication, and media literacy provides strategies that enable the individual to decipher the information they receive through the channels of mass communication, provide a framework that facilitates the discussion of media content with others, including children's, peers, the people responsible for producing media programming. So this is a way that will just give you, uh, provide you critical thinking skills, scope, critical thinking scope. So where it will be able to just selection of a media, another interpretation of the media that you receive, and you will whatever the message you will discuss with the peers, discuss with your neighbors, discuss with your friends. So that way critical analysis can highlight your awareness of a media at its base, and insightful articles, information, news programs, and uplifting kind of a films that will give you the scope, the critical thinking skills. They will just give the in a particular way that we are able to just critically, you will develop the critical skills. Next, importance. So today, so what will we just kind of say? So why? I mean, we need to just have the information. So what we need just to interpret? Why we need to interpret? What kind of a motive? What kind of a intention we have? Why? What is the purpose? We need to just interpret the kind of system because it makes you better citizens. Why? Because so it will media literate people can understand the media constructed to convey the ideas, information, news from someone else's perspective. So they can understand the specific techniques are used to create emotional effects. So they can identify these as well as the techniques and their intended actual effects. So that is why it will just make you, because you it will make you better citizens as well as that way it will just also we will just analyze when you interpret when critical think about a particular information, that way we will just more aware of the media background, media structure, media the person who was behind the particular media. So how it will be just generated, what is the intention, what is the motive of the particular media contains. That way it will just make you better citizens. Next, media saturation. So media saturation, television is not only medium that accounts for media saturation when one considers the pop music, radio, newspaper, magazines, computer video. In addition to TV, we are exposed to more mass media messages in one day than the other grandparents were. So that way earlier, so there were only limited media was there. So now we have exposed to so much media. Like we have digital media, we have to continuously go on without being just even when we have the smartphones, when we just given the scope, when we have this just go on continuously browsing the smartphone, and we sometimes we'll watch videos, sometimes we'll go to the Facebook, we'll check the status of the particular person, or maybe go to the Instagram. So that is the way. So the way the tradition, the newspaper, the electronic media, the time we were spending, more hours we are more spending on what will on digital platforms. So that way we have smartphone just facilitate you just go through the, I mean, N number of messages, N number of videos that will just go through, just go on browsing, goes on just viewing the video content as well as the maybe kind of a photographs, maybe kind of way it will just give you the information. So the manufacture and the management of the information. The most government business have public relation departments. We know so that every department, even private organizations, government organization has a particular purpose to get good news and about them and out the consciousness that will just strategies to build a strategies to focus the particular image of the particular organization, particular department. So that means a kind of a the government as well continues to focus through their, I mean, PR strategies to build up image for their government. So that is a kind of way that will have certain kind of a strategies to just garner the support and just enhance their image. So political leaders discover the influence of the media. So those who use the media will get their way of public policy or personal integrity. So that way it will try to just give you the information. That way the politicians as well as using the identifying the ways that how the media is influencing. That is they are just concentrating. They are just focusing. They are just developing their own content so that they can able to be in the public. So even politicians has continuously just have their own YouTube channels as well as they have own their websites, so that can they continuously just focus whatever wherever they go, whatever decisions, whatever kind of what kind of information events they're involved. So they will just go on disseminating the information so that they can able to garner the support, garner the image, enhance their image as well as that been he will consider that the more the political leader who is even more kind of a involvement in public activities and maybe continuously participating in public events, so that can will just give him the image build up as well as, so that way they will just go on kind of go on just building their image for hundreds of years. Societies, so when we just go through them in kind of a visual contents, arguably is give the word, so single word. So as we know, so one image is mean worth of about 1,000 words. So the kind of a saying. So even words is will one just you just only look, just focus on the images as well as it will explain you what kind of a intention, what kind of a motive is there, what kind of a mood is there in an image as well as. So instead of describing the text, so the image itself will give you explain the whole story itself. So that way the kind of a mood where you are, how you are, your situation, so what kind of a mode it is. So that way images will give you the impact, certain kind of impact. It will itself self-explanatory kind of, it will just give you, convey the information. The growing privatization of the information. The world economy is fast becoming an information economy, with information as a commodity to be brought and sold. So a danger exists the new cases of information rich and rich poor. So information rich and information poor. So those who are exposed to the media, so maybe it will be kind of earlier it was there. So before just we can say after advent of smartphones. So even village people are exposed to the kind of information. They are also just browsing through the videos, YouTube, as well as they have their own their Facebook, Instagram accounts as well as. Earlier there was information rich and information poor. So I think so nowadays, so after smart advent of smartphone as well as after geo internet facilities, so everybody is access to the kind of information, so certain kind of information, so where so those media, so earlier what will consider that means certain kind of information, those who are literate people, they can able to access to the information through, maybe it may be exposed to them in newspaper, they will just go through the newspaper content, they will just read it. And those information poor means those who are not able to access to the newspaper, they are not literate as well as. So that kind of a there in certain kind of interior village, they may not having, they may not receiving any kind of a newspaper. They are not receiving any kind of a broadcast a signal as well as. So there we can say that information poor kind of a. So nowadays, when after technology improvement, so satellite, we have satellite as well as when broadcasting is improved, signal is improved. So even smartphones through we have just kind of a internet is available everywhere. So what I believe, so in certain villages, interior villages and tribal areas, their network is slow, so where they may not able to get access to the information. So that kind of information, that kind of a we can say that when they are not less exposed to the media content. So they will very rarely. Sometimes they receive signal, sometimes they may not receive kind of. So they are continuously exposed to kind of information, as those who are having the access to the information, those are living the city levels, city maybe district headquarters, or maybe at a model layer where they have the good signals, there we can they have the access to the information. So that can we can guess can say information rich and information poor. So that is one more thing is storytelling kind of thing. So storytelling kind of a media brings the world into our homes. So for them, we learn about war, peace, and environment, and new discoveries, so on. So we are dependent upon the mass communications for knowing what is going on in our physical, social, economic, and political environment. In other words, so everything we know about the people, places, event that we cannot visit first hand comes from media. So whatever the information, suppose certain kind of a village, certain kind of a places, we cannot able to just go through there, we cannot see. So the media giving the information through storytelling about the particular event happening, suppose Jagannath Ratham. So in Orissa, or maybe kind of a Jallikattu in Chennai. So maybe Maharashtra. So certain kind of a events, certain kind of a cultures where we cannot go, we can know through our maybe electronic media, through our internet access to the content on digital platform. That media will just give you the information, it will tell you the stories, it will tell you the political leaders information, the kind of a environment, the kind of a places, the kind of a events happening. So it will give you first hand information. So what kind of a activity, what kind of information, what kind of a event going on, so how it will be conducted, what kind of efforts were required to just conduct such a huge event kind of a thing. So that everything information will be told in a storytelling manner, so that you can understand, you can just know about what kind of an event is, how it will be how it will be just conducted. So what is the intention of the motive. So six reasons way we need to just understand. So we live in a mediated environment. So what is the mediated environment? So mediated environment is, so we what we'll do, so to just get to information, what we'll do, we'll use the mediated environment. So we'll use the internet, we'll use the digital platform to get to the information. So computer generated smartphone mediated information. That way we'll just accessing the information through mediation. Mediation means we are using a smartphone, so we're using the internet connection. That way we'll just getting the information. So media literacy emphasizes critical thinking. So here, why the way, who, and why particular information, the way we develop the critical thinking. Being media literate is part of being an educated citizen. So if you just become a media literate, you can just become a good citizen, as well as you can able to answer, you will be able to question the information, who is generating, why is generating, what is the intention of is generating. So that means we will just come to the conclusion. The media literacy promotes active participation in a media stretch saturated environment, as well as, so that way digital platforms. So maybe it will be kind of a websites, the kind of a YouTube, the kind of Facebook, Instagram, that way it will just go exposed to the kind of a media. Education helps to understand the communication technology. So communication, what are the communication technologies that we are using? So we are using the chat GP to just get to the information about the latest. So just you will ask your query, and chat GPT or Gemini or AI tools will just give you the information instantly, so that you cannot go earlier days. You just need to visit the library to get to know so what kind of information you are seeking. So you will spend, I mean, hours and hours. So at library. So nowadays what happened? So even, I mean, AI technology is giving the scope. That way instantly will getting the information that you are seeking, that you are just, I mean, searching. So that kind of a technology, that kind of a advanced communication is giving you the information instantly and accurately. So you can check with so many AI tools, as well as they, for just for writing a letter, you can just use one kind of a tool. On your research purpose, you can use the certain kind of a tools. So that you can just write a article, as well as and giving the images, as well as for writing a particular article. It may be in any kind of a language, as well as, so that way even you can use there's certain kind of a technology. You will just your voice, just your voice itself, it will just write you on behalf of you. So that kind of a voice technology is there. I mean, certain kind of a chat GPT is there, Gemini is there, AI, different AI tools are there. Even you can also create the images, as well as Mid Journey is there. So that will create to you the kind of a motive, the kind of a creative art work, as well as using the AI technology as well. So that way the media, this media education will help you the you know understand the what kind of a communication technology are available, how you people are using, so what kind of a benefits, how they are exactly put to use certain kind of a information. Yes, still no any have any kind of a don't in this one, so that can just I'm just continuously going on. So hope so it will just be okay. Just I'm continuing. So any kind of interaction we can just we welcome. So any kind of interaction, as well as. Right. So yeah, those who are already attended offline class. So just what I am doing is here just reviewing kind of things. So those who are covered. So those who are not able to access to the offline, who are not come to the offline classes, for them, just I'm just going back and just reviewing the content what was been just discussed in the offline classes. So this one more thing is here subfield of the media literacy, digital platforms. So digital platforms means having skills you need to live, learn, work in society where communication access to information is increasingly through digital technologies like internet platforms, social media, mobile devices. So that is a way digital platforms. So I just know we spoke about the kind of a digital content we are using. So we are more aware of, we should aware of how we are using certain kind of a digital literacy means kind of a where you are just able to access. You will just log into the maybe Zoom. So how to log in Zoom. So how to use Google Meet. So how to use just use MS Word or maybe Excel to just draw our tables. So how to use the PowerPoint presentation. So how to develop our PowerPoint presentation. So individually literate person becomes socially responsible. So social responsible kind of a how you just is utilizing the different kind of a tools that are you are exposed to daily. You are exposed to the smartphone. So they are kind of a how to use the smartphone kind of things, how to set up the settings. So know about the settings as well as so what kind of settings are there, how to use the settings as well. So these are the activities. These are the activities that make you. So if you just digital literate, you can able to assess. You will be able to know about how to use particular kind of a tool. Maybe it may be AI tool. It may be kind of any kind of a software. So you are just the popular software. So generally we will come across the PowerPoint, MS Office, MS Excel. This is a common usage. So we will continuously we regularly use this kind of a tools. So, and there can be, suppose you are just a particular person. So, how to expose to the many artificial tools? I mean, how to use the chat GPT to write an article, maybe write a research article or maybe general article or maybe any kind of a article, maybe it will be a medical kind of a article. So that way, what kind of input you need to just give so that can you can get the certain kind of a article written by chat GPT. So maybe Gemini or maybe AI tools. So you can also there are this kind of a tool called advanced language tool is there where it can translate you your English into Telugu language, maybe in Tamil, maybe Hindi. So that will there will be kind of a accuracy, most probably 80% to 90% accuracy will be that kind of a translation. Advanced AI tool is there. So that will more or less it will be accurately will give you the exact translation of the particular content. So in which language you want to translate. So that kind of way, it will be able to just give you the one scope as well as give you the way you will just access when you just become a digital literate. You can know how to use particular kind of a AI tool or maybe kind of any kind of softwares that will you come across daily activities. Then visual literacy. So visual literacy symbols of communication. So that way whatever the information. So as we know, so Ajanta Ellora caves. So the what they did and what they just on Ajanta colors we can see the paintings. So what is the intention of their case? So what is their motive? So drawing the painting on Ajanta Ellora caves. So because they want to just know, they want to share their experiences with the uh, future generation, so that can they experiences the kind of a culture they have, so that will be conveyed through paintings. That is the intention of the image that will in the prehistoric history, Paleolithic cave dwellers communicated meaning among themselves through images. So that way, the main intention to just convey the information to the share their experiences to the future generation. So even just will just go through the whatever the images that will see that will tell you the story as well as it will give you the photography. So after invention of the photography, so that way the you can just capture the moment, capture the motto, the kind of a mood, the kind of a scenario, the kind of a activity, the kind of a event, the kind of a people participation, everything in a particular image. It will explain you everything. So the image will what will it will tell you the thousand words kind of a information. So it will just can know the kind of information in a particular image is portraying. Suppose you are just one particular person is standing in front of the Taj Mahal, then just you will just post on the Instagram. What will you understand? That you will think that a particular person has gone to the Taj Mahal and he's on a journey. Just will just as tourist there, so he's taking the picture the way the family. So that way, it will just the image itself it will just explain you the story itself, tell you the story. So maybe kind of a so uh, any kind of agitation has happening anyway. So the kind of image, the kind of a visuals will just quickly tell you the stories, how the moment is going on. So suppose we'll take the event of the Kolkata. So how what kind of intensity of the event. So how they are taking out. coming out to the roads, what kind of a rally they are doing, so how they are aggressively doing. Even we can think about when they talk about the Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is kind of a agitation against the Sheikh Hasina. So how the quickly the images will tell you how these agitators entered into the Sheikh Hasina's house, how they are rampantly just gone through and used them in what kind of items, whatever there. So lying in the house, so how they are destroyed. So the images itself tells how aggressive the mob is, how they are just aggressive, how they are the what kind of activities they are involved. It will tell you the way the information that will just make you the kind of a uh, mood, the scenario will explain you the situation, and the kind of a image itself will explain you the narrate the whole story as well as. So with the technology advancement as well as, so we have exposed to the kind of a 4G technology, 5G technology, we have 5G technology. We can instantly, we can through video call also, we'll put on a video call and just also shoot and also transfer the same kind of information to the look any corner of the world, so that can that will the images will be easily conveyed, easily disseminated, easily transferred to any kind of a anywhere in the world. So that kind of a images, even also the kind of a mood, the kind of a tension, the kind of obstacles in a particular event agitation will just explain you the whole story through images. So far just we'll think about the uh, mediated communication. So what is the purpose? Literacy for media consumers, mediated communication, media ubiquity. Purposeful of communication is there. So it's about the media unit two. So mass media. What are the mass media vehicles? So yeah, so each every person has, media diet and media habits as well as. So each and every person has more kind of a interactive. Sorry. Sorry. So media ubiquity. So media ubiquity means kind of a everywhere the media is available. So whatever the changes is there, you can just so everywhere it will just go, wherever you go, you will expose to the messages, you will expose to hoardings, you will expose pamphlets, billboards, any kind of a sort of a exposure. So every kind of information, any kind of a message that will just go on explaining you, go on telling you the kind of information. So it may be kind of a YouTube. So you will more access to digital platforms. So we'll just whenever just will be sitting alone, you will just use a smartphone to just browse through digital platforms. So maybe go through the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube videos. And sometimes you can also use OTT platforms as well as. So that is way. So wherever you will go, you will carry with the we will have the information exposure. So exposure is the kind of a information you continuously expose wherever you go. So you will be having exposed to the mass media messages as well as. So everything will everywhere the communication is there, every communication information is there, so we will just exposed to kind of way. So most of us depend on the media for various reasons, as I mean, such as newscasts, weather forecasts, entertainment kind of things. So these are the kind of way that we'll use. So it depends on the way, but depends on the person, so which media he's using. So certain kind of a supposed to will continuously having that heavy downpour of the rain. So we'll think about, we'll just go through, we'll just broach some in weather forecast. So how many days it will continue. So what kind of a way, I mean, certain kind of a floods occurring. So where I mean streets are, I mean, flooded. So how to take I mean are the alternative routes. So whether to venture outside or not to stay at home. So this kind of information will just go through the websites, will go through the, I mean, digital platforms, or just will see the television, and maybe you will access to the radio as well as to know more about the weather forecasts, how it will be behaving, how it will be just having certain kind of effect. So that can we can decide according to the information you get uh, Next, in escapable. So in escapable kind of a, so most of this wherever you go, it will be having the message. So whether it will be whatever what kind of information. So it may be related to your modern life. It may be related to trendy. It may be related to stylish kind of a thing. It will be glamour. So it may be news. It may be crime news. So it may be amusements. It may be entertainment. So that way, it will whatever wherever you go, you will get. You cannot escape. So you will just go if you want to just use the metro. So you will also there you will find the hoardings are there, billboards are there, continuously focusing the videos are there. So the kind of information you are continuously focusing when you're just going on the road as well as you will find the besides you will find the big hoardings are will there in the center of the road you will find the billboards is there. So that way everywhere that is I mean you are cannot inescapable kind of way. So that way you are continuously exposed to the communication. So mediated communication. So conversation is a form of interpersonal communication in which two or more persons communicate with each other directly in a face-to-face situation. Since all participants in the communication act are face to face, so any problems connected with the transmission and reception of meaning can be solved easily. In a direct communication, the meaning can be achieved, relayed, and received in a non-mediated communication. Such kind of a things where it will just so you will use the mediated communication. Newspaper is a mediated communication. News agency which supplies the news. So advertising agency which buy advertising space in newspaper and a printing plat and a news photography agency. So these are the mediated persons, mediated platforms where you will just get the newspaper. What will you will go through the so if you want information, if you want to see any kind of you want to read the in detail depth analysis of the particular issue, what will you do? You will just go to the newspaper or you will go to the magazine India Today, maybe the week. So you just way but using the mediated communication. Somebody was written the article, just you are going through the window. So a news agency, what it will do? It will supply the news to the newspaper. Maybe it will supply to the newspaper as well as the electronic media, broadcast media. The information it will in the manner of visuals, content, as well as any information, photographs. It will supply to the newspaper as well as the broadcast media as well as. So even advertising, what they will advertising is they will buy space in newspaper and space in on electronic media as well as and photo gallery agency are there. Separate photo agencies are like yeah, like news agencies are like ANI, PTI. These are the news agencies that will supply the news to the newspaper organizations or electronic media organizations. So that way they will get the they will just like we subscribe to the newspaper. This newspaper also subscribe to the news agencies news, so that can they will get the information. They will just when you see the newspaper it will be written in the tagline or maybe in the top, so PTA information, PTA. So maybe that way it will just no ANI, so they will find the ANI. So that kind of way, so this information is derived, this information is got from the ANI and PTA kind of way. That way this information is got from supplied by the news agency. So that is the way that will able to just give you the kind of way the mediated technology through these are the mediated communication platforms where you will just access to the information. So one more thing is communication through the social media. So what we'll do if you have certain kind of a exposure, certain kind of a experience, what we'll do? Suppose you have gone to somewhere, so what we'll do immediately take out the photograph and just upload on Facebook, upload on Instagram. What your intention is, what your motto is. You have to just explain that I have gone, I have visited certain kind of a place. So do you want to share your experience? You want to show the world, show to the your the in class maybe Facebook friends or maybe Instagram friends, those who are following you. So that kind of activity. So that way it will just share your experiences as well as. So that is why social media is just continuously you are using the mediated communication. I mean, Facebook, you are clicking that, taking the photograph from the smartphone and uploading on the Instagram and Facebook. So social media are internet based. So through mobile technologies, they turn communication into interactive dialogue. So it's interactive exchange of user generated content led to the term social media. Leading examples Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of which are relatively inexpensive to individual to publish or find information and to exchange information in contrast to the industrial media. So both mediated forms of communication, whether through mass media and social media, can reach tiny and huge audience. So, like Narendra Modi using direct media, radio. So where it will just directly talking to the people, and even politicians as well as top celebrities. What they will do, they will using the Twitter. Maybe Ram Gopal Verma more famous for this using the Twitter. So whatever is his mood, he will just tweet on the Twitter, so that can even it is getting the news for the electronic media as well as the newspaper. So that way, they are getting the information. The news agencies and news organizations, sorry, getting the information. So whatever the information decisions they want to convey, politicians want to convey, bureaucrats want to convey, they are using the Twitter to disseminate the information. So that through that way, the news organizations continuously following the celebrity as well as the politicians and the bureaucrats, so that they can get the information. They get the information so that they can use this information to publish in their newspaper and broadcast on their television, or they're using use this on a digital platform and website as well as. That is where social media is, Twitter and other platforms are more popular. So that is where mediated communication is there. So that is the way we are using the mediated platforms. Next, literacy of the media consumers. So linguistic literacy. So linguistic literacy means, so those who are been able to uh, can read and write. So those can able to read newspapers. So that kind of a vocabulary. So one more thing here, creating the mass media messages. Uh, Called the media literacy kind of a, so the kind of a vocabulary, so the kind of a language, the kind of a grammar, writing, so the kind of a reading skills. So both kind of way we can learn, we can just enhance our literacy literary level as well as. So if we just go through Hindu newspaper, they will kind of, you will find this kind of a words. It will be difficult to just get continuously. You need to just use the dictionary to find out the kind of a words meaning. So if you will just go through the Deccan Chronicle, it will be easy for you to just go through, read information in an easy manner. So that can they use the colloquial language, simple language. So you can use the, the other Hans India newspaper, English newspaper, the new Indian Express newspaper, Times of India. So that is, each paper has its kind of a presentation, it's kind of a way it will try to attract the youth as well as try to attract the target audience. I mean, it will be readers. So each has certain kind of a presentations as kind of a way, so that can it will able to attract people. It will able to attract the viewers, so that can they will just have the kind of continuous patronage. So those who are reading particular following a particular newspaper, suppose we'll just take about the Hindu, they will not cannot easily change to the another newspaper, because the kind of a they flow, the kind of a news presentation, they are addicted to the certain kind of a presentation. Those who are reading the Takkar Chronicle, people, they never shift to Hindu, because the kind of a presentation they are attached to that kind of a presentation, like Indian Express, Times of India. So each, I mean, Inadu, if you talk, take a Telugu newspaper, Inadu, maybe Sakshi, Andhra Jyoti. So the kind of a presentation that will more feel more sophisticated, more feel generalized, and as well as, I mean, giving you the kind of a scope, kind of a atmosphere where you will feel comfortable, the kind of a language, the kind of a words, the kind of a coining of a words it will use, that will feel comfortable reading the any kind of a news, any kind of information on a particular newspapers. That is kind of a literacy, linguistic literacy. Next step is visual literacy. So as we know, we'll discuss about in previously, as well as how the kind of a photograph as well as the image will just explain you, how it will just give you the larger, broader view of the particular situation, what is happening. It may be a agitation, it may be kind of any kind of activity, it may be a procession, it may be a religious activity, it may be kind of a congregation, it kind of any kind of a political rally, political sabha. So maybe agitation. So that way, they will you will give you the different kind of angles. So if you just visual literacy kind of way, where you will get, suppose there are two angles you Yes, sorry for the a little bit interruption. So power is gone, most more probably. So internet is down. So that's why I just switch to a hotspot. So using my mobile phone. My audio is clear and loud.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, we are discussing about the visual literacy. So visual literacy. So suppose there are two angles are there for any kind of a information, any kind of a whatever we see. So there are two angles. So what we'll do? So suppose when kind of a person, so they are certain kind of a ideology. Yes, right. Certain kind of ideology. So suppose they want to just cover the only positive aspects of the particular sabha, maybe particular issue. So what they will do? They will do they will cover the particular sabha, maybe particular congregations in a way. So want to show the particular rally is a success. So the way the visual they will just capture only one side of the angles. Those who are people huge, they feel in a particular in a particular angle, camera angle, they feel huge people are there. So they will capture the particular visuals in a way so that they will show that particular sabha, particular rally is successful.
Please
The
just switch
other,
off your microphone. Rishi.
sorry, so,
Somebody is unmute, sir.
yes, somebody is asking any question.
No, no, someone has unmute themselves. We are getting disturbed.
Rishi, just mute your Rishi.
You please carry on, sir.
Right.
Actually, is
Okay.
not responding.
Yes. So yeah, no, we are discussing about the visual literacy. So how it will be just developed. So how they are just focusing. So just you need to analyze, you need to interpret, you need to evaluate. So the kind of a projection of a particular event. So how they are projecting, whether they want to just make a particular rally, make a particular congregation huge success, they will capture only one side of the event. Those who are sitting, those people are sitting on a corner in a group. So they will capture certain kind of a visuals, show that the it is, I mean, kind of a huge success kind of a. So the other side, so the other angle, those who are want to show particular congregation, particular event, rally, they will capture the empty chairs of the sabha, maybe congregation. They will show that will nobody will turn to the congregation, nobody will turn to the particular political rally. So it is a grand failure. So those who are showing the grand success, the other those who are showing the grand failure. So here it is, I mean, media literacy, visual literacy will come into the force, how you will just interpret. So why particular channel, why particular media is showing in a particular way. So why it will be showing grand failure, why it's showing a grand success. So what is the motive, who is the behind particular media, what is their intention, so what is their affiliation. So certain kind of a element, certain kind of a information, certain kind of a aspects we need to just analyze, interpret, evaluate, then will be come to the conclusion through visual literacy only. So how it will derive, how it will just focus, how they are projected. So that way you can just understand the visual literacy, understand the way they are projecting, how they are projecting kind of way. So the next, what are the fundamentals of the, I mean, for media literacy? So fundamentals for media literacy are some message form, the ability to see the difference between a one-on-one message and a mass message. So one-on message kind of a way, it will be WhatsApp message, it will be kind of a, it will be given you, send you to the one person only. And mass media messages means kind of a through using the certain kind of newspaper, mass media, newspaper or electronic media, or maybe using the radio, mass media, so or maybe social media. So where it will be targeted at the market, large mass people. So that way, we need to identify the message platforms. So whether it will be individual one-to-one message or a mass media message. Then message and messenger. Who is the message? The news reporter who is even telling a story or explaining a horrible event or criticizing a movie director for making an unpleasant movie immediately require distinguish between messages and messengers. A writer who deals with a drug culture is neither an advocate or not necessarily a sorry, he's a man rapper who conjures apps clever rhymes for men. So that kind of a way, so message, so how they are explaining the horrible horror stories, horrible events, kind of a, or maybe how the kind of a particular person is criticizing the movie of a particular director. So the kind of a message, the kind of a who are the messages who is passing on the message that we need to understand. Next, motivation and awareness. Intelligent use of the mass media requires assessing the motivation for a message. Is a message intended to convey information to convince an audience to change his buying behavior. So that kind of a motivation, wherever will just expose to any kind of a ad, what is the intention? What is it? The intention is to just convince you, to make you happy, make you emotionally attached to the particular event, so that they can influence you and ask you to just take a decision and just go for a purchase kind of a. That is a kind of a motivation. That is kind of a the information they will use to convince you to take a decision to purchase kind of a. So they have the certain kind of a attitudes, I mean certain kind of a emotional aspects. So it may be emotional kind of way. So it may be kind of emotional sentiments. It will ignite emotional sentiments. It will emotional attachment kind of elements to just convince you, to influence you to just take a certain kind of a adopt a certain kind of a behavior or take a certain kind of a decision. So it can you can just purchase, make a decision to purchase a particular product. Next, media limitation. Media has its own potential limitations in conveying the messages to its audience. So, example, books, movies, television, radio, etc. based on its effectiveness in conveying a message. Yes. I will try to just mute the particular person. Rishi, okay. So from my side, so I'm not able to do. So let's see.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Thank you. Just where are we? We are just discussing about the kind of way the messages that will motivate it, that will influence you, just taking certain kind of a images, certain kind of a issues that will be able to convince you to take kind of a decisions. Next, media limitations. So each media has its own potential and limitations in conveying the message to audiences. So, like books has this kind of a way, some kind of a limitations are there. Movies there. So 2 hour, 2.5 hours. So television, you will expose to any kind of a serial, maybe news. So where you will just have certain kind of a news, maybe it may be half an hour. So you cannot go, or maybe it can radio. So when you are just moving, so you will just get to the know the kind of information you are exposed to. Based on the effectiveness in conveying a message, the message messenger chooses different medium to reach the different target groups with needed information. So, as we know, so each media has its limitations, so media limitations. So that way, so based on the limitations, so it will see the what kind of limitations that we have. So you will use certain kind of a media. You will choose some mediums to choose the platform to just reach to the target groups. That is the mere kind of way it will chooses the way to just reach the larger public, choosing the particular media. This is media myth. So video games are the latest vaping boys for violent crimes kind of the fact is that heard, I mean, conventional wisdom that media violence begets real life influence has never been kind of a, so the kind of a which is exposed to certain kind of a game, maybe PUBG or maybe kind of a, any kind of a games or kind of a exposed to country, any kind of a countries exposed to any kind of a crime kind of a, you will just go on watching the crime movies or maybe crime related soap operas or maybe kind of a crime related uh, serials, kind of that way they will you are more addicted to kind of a violence kind of thing. You will be become more aggressive kind of things. This is a kind of a media myth. It will have certain kind of it will have very short term effect on us. So once you go to the movie, it will show 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours you will feel you are the hero of the movie. So that will make you in a virtual. It will take you in the virtual world, so it will make you happy for 2.5 hours. It will make you feel that you are the hero of the particular movie. So after coming out of the movie, so it will be hardly it will have some kind of effect on you about, I mean, 1 hour or maybe 2 hours, maybe day. So after that it will go away. So because we are just maybe exposed to other things as well as we are to other activities as well as, so that way there is a myth. So you continuously exposed to any kind of a activities, you will accustomed to the, so you can just adopt certain kind of a uh, nature, certain kind of a behavior. So it's not there. So it will have certain kind of a effect and a very limited one only. So what is the purpose of the communication? So what is the purpose of the communication? So anybody can, we can discuss what is the purpose of the communication. Whatever they done, whatever they do. So what is the purpose? Why the purposeful communication? Yes. What is the purpose of the communication? So anybody can explain?
The
So it is,
purpose of communication means to transfer the messages from one idea to another. Like we can send our information or whatever we are having the ideas of knowledge, ideology means transcription of knowledge from one person to another.
yeah, of course. Yes. So good. So that's the way. So everybody has the purpose. Each communication has its own purpose. So purpose means it will provide information to consumers. So it may be suppose those who are having the shades, the company will provide the information, the kind of a the activity of the management, the role of the company, the kind of behavior of the company in the market. So it will give the information to the shareholders, how the company is behaving, how the company is making profit, kind of information. This is the purpose. Why the purpose means, so you want to just give the pass on the information. What is the status, current status of the company shareholders? So what is the status of the company? So how it will be just doing its business in the market. So that information continuously will disseminate information to the shareholders, those who have purchased their shares on a particular company. So that way, try to just persuade the company, the persuasion, or another is to just persuasion, so that our company is in a right track. So don't be get scared. So it is few rumors. Suppose earlier it was their LIC. So LIC made, I mean, huge losses. It will be likely to be just be closed down. So the kind of rumors were generated. So in order to just counter the rumors, so what the LIC done? So they have just brought, I mean, just they continuously just pass on the information through newspaper as well as the ad agencies. So maybe through articles, they just disseminate the information that we have the so much of surplus. So we are nowhere to close down our LIC. Yeah, so that way we'll just go on. So that's the rumors. Don't believe the kind of a rumors. So that is the way that will try to just persuade you, that to make you believe that they're not down. They are on the path. They are just running successfully. So that is the information. That is the way that will be able to persuade, that will be able to convince you, the people who are, I mean, shareholders of the particular company, or maybe the maybe about the relation, any kind of information that will pass on. Suppose it will be kind of a during COVID, or maybe kind of a weather forecast. So certain kind of a elements, somewhere it will just happen. Somewhere we have seen some kind of a wild animal is there roaming around kind of a. So people will scared to just know about the information. They get that information that certain kind of a wild animal just roaming here and there. So that kind of a, suppose it will come to the notice of the government, what will do? They will just see whether it is really a wild animal just roaming near the village, or maybe near any kind of a place. So they will find out the information. So after they will just disseminate the information, there is not kind of a, they will just give the pass on the message that there is no scare, the no need to just scare of any kind of a certain wild animal is there. So that can it will try to just build certain kind of a confidence on people that nothing will be there. So we are here to just take care of. We are here to just capture. If suppose certain kind of a identified certain kind of a wild animal so roaming near a particular village, so they will see, they will try to, they will also just convince them we are here, we just arrange a certain kind of a boats to capture the particular wild animal. So that way they will try to just restore, build confidence in people. That is the way that will information. It has a kind of a purpose. So even in democracy, so what will do? So when elections is happening, so the chief election commission of India, so what it will do? It will also ask you to just exercise your vote. So it is your responsibility, it is your chance to elect your politicians, elect your candidate, so that can, but better representation will be the better country, better society. So that is the way intention that continuously go on convincing the persuade the people, go on way, go on vote on a particular day, to just cast your vote, exercise your vote to elect a eligible person. So that is the way that will, the intention is to persuade, convince the people to through passing the information continuously. Next, correlation kind of way. So how to interpret the happening throughout the globe. They also provide. So interpret means, so you will find the editorials. There will be articles will be the editorial. If you opposite to the editorial, you will find the articles. So what we'll do? So whatever happening, suppose we'll just take about the Russia-Ukraine war. Maybe we will take the Israel-Palestine issue. So what we'll do? So they will just explain the present situation. Also, they will interpret. So suppose there will be chances for the third world war, or maybe the kind of how it will be able to calm down the situation. So how peace journalism can prevail. So how the conflict will be resolved. So they will also provide, they will also interpret, also give the solution to the present existing situation, as well as maybe it will be related to the agitation is going on in Kolkata, that kind of a uh, the kind of a Bangladesh incident. So the well-known persons, the kind of a senior journalist, through their articles, they interpret and they can analyze. They can just give the information in detail. So how it will happen, what will happen, how it will happen. So what will be the end of the particular situation. So that way they will just continuously go on interpreting and giving the information in depth one. Next, persuasion, as always know. So how people will just pursue it to different way, different organization, or maybe public relation wing of a particular individual, particular organization, how they will try to convince through using their PR activities, or maybe through corporate social responsibility, in order to just build up their image, brand image, or corporate image among consumers, and in order to increase sales. So what will they continuously try to persuade the consumers, and just also explain the people that they are the good ones, they are the, I mean, very good performing in the market, and they are good potentials and unique proposition as there. So uniqueness is there in the product, so that you can just purchase. That is the way that will able to just go on and just give you through persuasion, will give you the information, and just make build up their image. So transmission of cultures will already how their socialization is happening. Sorry, socializing also one of the aspects where individual come to adapt the behavior and values of a group through the media exposure. So we are exposed to the kind of a, so MTV, so earlier MTV, music TV, so kind of a rap, kind of a the way the music, the Western culture, so the kind of a the culture. So after exposing, after viewing on a media, mass media, so will certain kind of a way, values, certain kind of a behavior will likely to adopt certain kind of a culture. So that is a way how will they will be done. So from here, just I will stop. So you have next class. So join, take a break, 5 minutes break, and join next class. Right. So next class, so I will prepare with the PPT. I will come with the come with the PPT and just give you the presentation using the PPT as well as. So last time I thought means you people are just comfortable with the PPT, so just you need. Okay, no, it will be more kind of an interactive session. I thought, I mean, it will be more kind of an interactive session. So next time, what we'll do, I will do. So I will just come with the PPT and it will be explained through PPT only. Okay. So you have next class. You can join next class. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello, Nadia.
Hello.
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 Which parameter?
ఏమో
Nadia parameter.
చెప్పు